This podcast has been 2 years in the making. Not because I didn't have anything to say, because I couldn't make myself say it on camera. Here's the thing that used to frustrate me about myself. I can run a training room, I can stand in front of a client and present a plan without blinking. Professionally, none of that ever scared me. But the second it wasn't work, the second it was just me talking about something that actually mattered, I deleted more recordings than I can count. And I told myself, not yet, for 2 years straight. I didn't have a name for that contradiction for a long time. Confident enough to present for a living, too shy to talk about my own life on camera, pointed at nobody but me. This show is what happened when finally stopped waiting to feel ready. I'm Ice, and this is your own fire. Welcome for the first episode. No guest yet, and honestly, the fact that this exists at all still feels a little unreal to me. Here's the deal with the show. I'm not going to sit here and give you 10 tips to find your passion. I don't think that's how it actually works. And I think most of us are tired of content that talk to us like we're a problem to optimize. What I want to do instead is to tell the truth about why it took me 2 years to press record that was actually going on underneath that and what finally has changed. Some weeks there'll be me alone like this. Other weeks I'll bring on someone who had their own version of standing in front of something they were scared of. But today, just the origin of the story. Let me back up. I spent years in rooms full of people, leading trainings, leading team, presenting to clients, running through materials. I know it's cold. Nobody in those rooms would ever guess I'm actually a little bit of introvert. I learned early how to perform confident for work. It's like a costume I know how to put on. But somewhere outside of work, the costume comes off. The underneath it is someone who genuinely shy. Someone who overthinks how she perceived the second topic is personal instead of professional. 2 years ago, when the idea for this show first showed up in my head, I got excited for a day. Then a fear showed up right behind. What if I sound stupid? What if people from my actual life see this? What if I say something and it's permanent out there, attached to my name forever? I recorded a first attempt about 6 months in, deleted it before anyone saw it, recorded another one while after that, deleted that one too. This happened more times than I want to admit. Long enough that someday quietly became my most reliable excuse. Here's what's strange looking back. The fear was never really about the camera. Camera don't judge anyone. The fear was about being seen as a whole person instead of just the competent, put together version I've got good at showing people. Professional eyes could present to a room of 40 people without flinching. Personal eyes couldn't talk to camera about anything that actually mattered to her. And the gap sat there, unresolved for 2 years. Here's what I've pieced together since then, and I want to be careful here because I'm not interested in giving you a neat formula. Getting in front of this camera is still not fully comfortable for me, even right now. But 3 things have held up. First, Waiting to feel ready was never going to work because ready isn't feeling that arrives on its own. I used to think one day that fear would just quiet down and then I finally do it. That may never came. What actually happened is I did it while still scared, and the fear didn't leave. It just stopped being in charge. Second, the gap between professional me and the real me was costing more than the camera ever could. I could stand in front of 40 people at work and be fine. But I was hiding the actual person behind the competence. And hiding gets exhausting in a way people don't talk about enough. This show is partly me. The third, this is the one that actually got me to press record. I stopped trying to skip the fear and started just doing it scared. In small doses, I didn't wake up one day suddenly confident on camera. I recorded badly, privately, for months, just to get used to my own voice saying things out loud. 2 years of almost starting eventually turned into actual start. Not because the fear disappeared, because I finally stopped requiring it to. That's the shape of what we're going to ask questions that are easy to avoid because they don't have tidy answers. What you've kept hidden behind the version of yourself that looks fine on the outside, what it costs to stay comfortable instead of doing this scary thing, who you are when the competent mask comes off and it's just you. Actually, you showing up. I'm not doing this because I've got figured out. I'm still not at ease in front of the camera and you saw it, and I probably won't be for a while. I'm doing this because 2 years of waiting to feel ready taught me that ready was never coming, and I'd rather be doing this scared than still be sitting on the idea a third year from now. Here's what I want to leave you before the next episode. Think of one thing you've been waiting to feel ready for, something you keep almost starting and then quietly shelving again. You don't have to launch it if this week. Just name it. Actually, say it out loud or write it down somewhere. Because 2 years taught me ready isn't something you wait for. It's a decision you make while you're still scared. I'm Ice. This has been your own fire, born for something or burn out. Talk soon.